Hey, welcome.
Hey, welcome
Yeah, I
everyone.
know what it is.
It's another water cooler Wednesday. Yes. And we are
Awesome.
here today. And we're going to talk about some small scale real estate investing, right?
Yes.
Because this month, the month of June, is all about investing in real estate.
Investing.
And so we want to make sure this today we're going to bring to you someone that has experience in real estate investing and make sure they share with you their experience. So we are so excited.
And who are you?
Well, my name is Archie Tolar, and I am a home inspector as well as a real estate investor.
All
All
right.
right, all
And the
right.
lady to my,
I
what is
am
this?
Dion Branch with Allure Dream Homes, broker by EXP, and always so glad to be here every week.
And with you co-hosting would be Lisa J, also known as the House Money Mama, with Nexa Lending, where we cater to all of your financing needs for either residential, commercial. We can even do some SBA stuff, y'all, just so you know. All
All
right.
right,
So you
all
know.
right, all right. So yeah, today Archie Tolar is joining us, and we are so excited to have Archie here. So we're gonna go dig in. We're gonna start asking some of these questions.
Yeah, why don't we just jump right into it?
All right, Archie, ready? You ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
All right, Archie. So the first thing is always, what made you interested in real estate investing?
Gotta know.
Yeah, that's a great question because I was not a real estate guy at all years back. But as I ventured off into being in working for municipalities as a building commissioner, what I found is everybody was making money but me. I was doing the inspections, I was running the department, I had
Okay.
employees, I had to deal with all of the mayors and all the persons and community advocates, and I wasn't making no money.
You're
And
like,
so
wait a minute.
I
Right.
said, something's wrong about this. I
Right.
mean,
Like I said, everybody making money
yeah,
but me.
everybody making
Hold
money but
on.
me. And so, I started to just learn through the people who I was doing inspections on behalf of, things of that nature.
Okay.
And some taught me great things, but some, they didn't know what they was doing, so they was out of business. So I'm thankful that I took the time
Mm.
to actually learn how to make some money in the real estate
Mm-hmm.
business. Because guess
Yeah.
what? You don't have to necessarily make money. You can lose money if you don't know how to put systems together to work your project, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing. That's the one thing that I see. A lot of people, everybody's watching, was it like biggerpockets.com and things like that, these different
Yeah.
like online shows and stuff, and they talk about how to, they show you, oh, this person got 100 doors, this person got 50 doors, and and you're like, well, I want to do that too, and you're like, oh, but it does take
Yeah. How
some
am I get
time.
100 doors?
Right,
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 that's it.
right.
Right. So actually, what was your first investment property? Do you remember it?
Yeah, because Lisa and I was just talking about it. I actually, so I was dating my current wife at this time,
Mm-hmm.
and some years back, over a decade, and she found a house in Calumet Park for $12,000 on 124th and Carpenter,
Oh, wow.
and
$12,000.
and yeah, $12,000. Now, granted, the average person would have had ran from this house. But my girlfriend at that time saw what I did with my own two hands, building out a restaurant, building out a loft over the restaurant. And she said, this ain't nothing for him. And he knows a few people who can help him.
Come
Right.
on.
Right.
So
It's always that woman.
it always that woman, you know what I'm saying? So me and her invested together 6,000 apiece
Okay.
Okay.
and bought that place. But initially we were supposed to flip it.
No. Okay.
And when
Mhm.
I finished the house, she went in the house and looked and walked around and said, "We about to move up in here.
Right.
We ain't about to sell this house. This is where we about to live for now."
This is too good.
So,
Right.
I ended up moving in. I ended up building a garage. I ended up building a big patio, and just kept
Wow.
every year just kept adding to the house,
Uh-huh.
and end up becoming the community building commissioner in Calumet Park during
Okay.
that time,
All
because
right.
they had I'm not going to say what he was, but they had a Caucasian guy who was running the department, and
Uh-huh.
he was beating up some people, right?
No.
So I reported him. I
Mhm.
threatened to sue them and all that. And the mayor's like, "Well, he just put in his resignation because of you. So do you want the
Oh, the
job?"
job.
And I seriously, true story. And I said, "Well, I don't really know what his job entails, Mayor." And the mayor said, "What do you need? What tools do you need?" I said, "School." Mayor said,
Mhm.
"Find a school." I found a school called the Building and Fire Code Academy in Elgin, Illinois. Bought them
Okay.
an invoice for $12,000. The mayor sent me a check and it was done.
All right.
And
There you
so
go.
Wow.
that's my story when it comes to my first investment, because it was not even something that I knew was going to happen. All of those
Right.
things just kind of happened in
Sometimes,
order.
right.
Yeah.
Sometimes the someone else around you has to see the vision before you can really see it.
Yep.
And
Mhm.
if you're willing to listen and work with them, then you can find yourself at a place you never imagined. So,
Yeah, you can. I mean, who buy a $12,000 house? I remember falling through the floor. I ended up in the basement
Oh
oh
no.
Lord.
when I bought it. Yeah, no, that's how bad it
That's how
was.
bad it was.
Yeah, that's how bad
Right.
it was. But
But I think that's a beautiful thing that she had confidence in you like that, that even though it was dilapidated and, probably, like you said, most people would have run from it and not been able to see anything that it could possibly turn into. But she knew that what you had inside of you was enough
Right.
that would be able to take that from the guttermost to the uttermost,
hey, I like
Mhm.
that.
Right. Right.
So that's great. So
Yeah.
I do have a question. Well, first of all, was a single family home, right?
Yes, that was a single family house.
Okay. So a lot of times, when people, one of the things that really, really stops people, I'm into mindset a lot. So one of the things that really stops people a lot of times is actually their fear.
Yep.
They don't see how it can happen. They ask a lot of questions. It's got to be perfect. I got to have this. I got to have that. I have to have all these different things. But I think personally that a lot of investors, not that they're fearless, it's just that they feel the fear and they still do it anyway. Like maybe it
Yeah.
Yeah,
makes them
yeah,
nervous,
yeah.
but they see the outcome, and so they still go ahead and move ahead anyway. So when you bought your very first property, the one we were just talking about, what would you say you was the most nervous about? Were you concerned about, the payment, repairs, like what might come up that you didn't know about? What was the actual?
Actually, I can't remember having no fears at all, because think
Okay.
about it. I worked. I had my restaurant called Blue Soul House of Chicken and Waffles on 111th and Halsted. We was living over the restaurant at
Oh,
that
Oh.
time,
Mhm.
and all of the money that we made in the restaurant, we just bought the house cash. So
mhm.
Gotcha.
I didn't have no loans and all of that stuff. And
Uh-huh.
so as every week when we paid ourselves out of the restaurant, we put some more wood and drywall in the house. And in that
Okay.
order until it was finished. It wasn't like we was on nobody's time schedule.
Right. How
You know,
long
with
did it
no
take
bank.
you all? How long did it take?
Uh, it probably took us about 7, 8 months.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, to get it ready.
Sometimes, right.
It's one of them houses that they said had 5 bedrooms, and it really was a 3 bedroom. I had to tear
Yeah.
walls down and all of that to make it
Okay.
right. Went
Wow.
through some trials and tribulations because the building commissioner didn't want us to use the attic space as a sleeping quarters,
Mhm.
because of the size of the stairs, which I said, "Well, what do you want me to do?" He said, "You can't sleep up there." So I just took the door off and put a sheet of drywall there, and he come back. "Well, what happened to the door?" I said, "You told me I couldn't sleep up there." And he got mad. And he said, "Well, how's anybody going to get up there as a fire?" I said, "That wasn't what you told me." So I ended up, he passed the house and I took the sheet of drywall off, put my door back, went up in my master suite.
Oh Lord.
You just gotta, you have to think outside of the box
Yeah.
and surround yourself around a lot of great people when you do this business.
Hmm.
I've been doing that since day one. And even this week, it just got so great for me. Somebody I should have been doing this with 10 years ago, who's almost like a sister. We just connected at a wedding engagement party, and I didn't even know she was in real estate.
Hmm.
Not alone doing $1 million deals. So we finna be partners forever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So because she needs me and I need her. How about that?
Yeah.
Yes.
She
Yeah.
understands how to buy out of the state, out of everywhere, and the numbers at a level that I never mastered because that just wasn't my thing. But
Okay.
what she needs is somebody on the ground that she can send to Maryland, to New Hampshire, to Atlanta to make sure people ain't taking advantage of her. And
Right.
she
Mhm.
and
Somebody
she
she can
and she
trust.
just found that out when I did her first 8 unit because she said one thing to me. She said, "But Archie, I just send people to walk through the house for $100." I said, "That ain't no inspection." I said,
Mm.
"Let me do an inspection for you and
Yeah.
show you what a real inspection looks like."
Hmm.
Yeah.
And I didn't mean to hurt her because she really just broke down because these people, she trusted these people.
Yeah.
But I told her, I said, this is a learning curve. And we all have those. You hired a guy to be your project manager, your GC, and
Hmm.
his family is everybody else, and everybody getting paid. And they're not doing what you think they're doing. And
Yeah.
Right.
so I'm going to expose them, but it don't have to be intentionally because I'm the home inspector, right?
Right.
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 That's what
And
I
I
do.
think that's one thing that I've worked with a couple of different investors. Those a lot of times you get investors from out of state and they want somebody to kind of come and look through the house. And so I will ask my home inspectors if they would go through the property
Mm.
and just kind of take photos and give an idea. So if you're not able or you're not familiar with purchasing a property that needs improvement, right? And
Mm.
what does that really mean for your project? It is definitely good to have a home inspector go to the property with you or for you and just look at the property and give you some ideas as far as what's happening with how old is this furnace, how old is this water tank. So when
Right.
you're putting your plan together, you have a true idea of what your expenses are really going to be instead
Yeah,
of buying it and then finding out
And then
later
figure
on,
it out
like,
later.
oh,
Yeah.
Lord.
yeah,
Right.
Hmm.
yeah.
Right.
That's
I
that's
think it's always good to have a home inspector go with like you. And obviously, Archie, that's what you do. You are a home inspector. You have your own business doing that. But I think the kind of services that you provide would be invaluable because even if you know a little bit about, properties or whatever, renovations and stuff,
mhm.
if you're not a home inspector, then like, two set of eyes is going to be better than one, you
Yeah,
Yeah.
know? So if nothing else, it'd just be good to have a second set of eyes. But with you, it's not just a second set of eyes. It's also, a level of expertise and
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
experience. So,
And I'm truly blessed because I have to remember that I got both sides. I
mhm.
have the um, building commissioner code enforcement side, and I
Yeah.
have the standards of practice home inspector side. And
Yes.
some of those things merge, but a lot of them don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, because I was that guy who approved inspections at Amazon and Markham. I was that guy who you couldn't pour a footing without my approval. And
Yes.
Hmm.
so before you even started building, I had to come in and make sure everything was in order, you
Okay.
know. And then I flip on this side, which is different, but yet if I see things that remind me of somebody who just don't need to be building, I can call them out, right? And every home inspector can't do that,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
can't. And so I get a lot of phone calls from a lot of other home inspectors who want me to assist them when they take on municipalities and projects in municipalities because they know I'm going to revert back to building code versus standards of practice.
Yes. Got you. So I know that I'm gonna skip a little bit, Dion, because
Yeah, I was
his
too.
situation is a bit
Hmm.
different. So I know you didn't actually use financing for your first project. Have you used any type of financing since then?
Yes.
Okay.
So all of the other projects that I did, except for the one I'm doing now, I leveraged my own money and utilized good friends that are
Mm-hmm.
in the trades.
Okay.
One of my good friends lent me quite a bit of money to do a project.
Okay.
And now that everybody see, I kind of have built rapport with family members, so
Mhm.
it's easier for me to reach out and get money that just sitting in the bank account that I told them, y'all ain't making no money on that.
Right. You ain't
So
doing
I
nothing
can,
with
yeah, you
it.
ain't doing nothing with it. Let me do something with it. Let me give you a little something, something for your
Right.
time. And so this project that I'm doing now was initially a real challenge. I ain't gonna fake it. It's because I had never done a construction loan and I got beat up to the
Yeah.
Mhm.
end. I lost the deal. The deal got
Mhm.
reinstated. But see, God got a way of teaching you some things. And
Yeah.
that thing that he taught me was the next deal, you're going to go back to the way you're doing. And I'm going to just give you $1 million line of credit. And he has surrounded me with multiple people that
Yeah.
can
Okay.
do that right now. So I'm
Mhm.
trying to convince them, just buy this thing out then. Let's start right here. Y'all ain't got to give me that. Let's go call these people, buy them out. I don't want to deal with the construction money, the pools, the draws, because the way I operate, it just don't work for my systems.
Mhm.
Hmm.
And
Right.
so I'm 3 months in, and people would think I've done 3 or 4 draws. I only did one because I don't want to deal with them because I have enough people leveraging what I'm doing where I don't even need to deal with them.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
Archie, well, maybe you should. Archie and I went through that deal together. It was a little rough one with the lender that he had. Wasn't Lisa. So, but Archie, maybe we're going to talk a little bit about just the experience of kind of going through with the lender. And I mean, there was some pros and some cons. Unfortunately, we had to deal with more personal people rather than
Yeah,
professionals,
yeah, yeah.
right?
And
So,
they were supposed to be professional, but the requirements kept changing daily. That's
Mhm.
just the way I'm gonna frame this. You told me that I could be my own GC based on my experience, and then you wait 3 weeks to say I need to find one. And when I find one, he need to have done 3 projects over 300,000 in the last 6 months, and so
Mhm.
on and so forth. And that got so bad the
Wow.
average person would have walked away, lost their little earnest money, and dismissed them crazy people. And
Mhm.
then, you're just dealing with different people that you could tell were immature, that somebody put in these positions. And my broker got angry. He got very angry.
Mhm.
I could look at some of the emails because he told me, he said, my name is at stake here, Archie. They
Uh-oh.
have never treated anybody like this except you. I said,
Mm.
well, that's a problem. Is that got something to do with the color of my skin or something?
yeah.
Because this is real business. We're dealing with real money,
Real
real
money, right?
people,
Mm.
time, and you know, I had some harsh words with them people on the phone. I figured I didn't sabotage my own deal now because y'all done took me to a level where I really
Okay.
don't care. And then at the end, I prayed on this thing and asked the Lord, what can they do to me now? They done done everything. He said they're gonna mess with you on the money. So I called my
Mhm.
my broker and said, the God that I serve told me I'm gonna need more money. He said, how much? I said 100,000. And then I called him back the next day. They said, nope, 55,000. Let me tell you something. The day that they were finna do the clear to close, they called me and I was at work downtown and they said these words: we're gonna cancel this deal right now, Mr. Tola, because the appraisal didn't come back the way we thought, and you need 55 more thousand dollars. And if you can't show us proof of 55 more $1,000 by tomorrow, we're gonna just cancel this deal.
Mhm.
And I had $55,000 sitting in my bank
Right.
and said,
Wow.
"Oh, that's all y'all need." And the whole, you ever heard them silences where people
Right. Like,
other people listen, other
hush.
Right.
people listen, and
Yes.
everything just got silent. No,
Mhm.
this Negro didn't just say he got 55 more thousand. We thought we drained him.
Right.
Yeah.
We was
Right.
They were
killing.
upset. They
We
were
was
Lisa. They were upset that he had the money.
yeah, yeah. We
I
killed this
believe
deal.
it.
We were
I
supposed to
believe
kill
it.
this deal. That's
Wow.
what it was all about.
Mhm.
Killing the deal. So, but I say this proudly. All they did was made me stronger. I was
Mhm.
calling VPs at US Bank. I didn't care who I called. I was gonna tell on everybody. And in the end, it was Good Friday when they canceled the deal. I was on the phone with my attorney, and then he said, the weirdest thing just happened, Archie.
Mhm.
The seller, the U.S. bank, just told us, we know it ain't Mr. Tolar's fault. It's them rinky-dink people he dealing with. And this is Passover. This is Good Friday, and we're not going to treat him like that. We're going to reinstate this deal. And after the holidays, we're going to give him till Tuesday to get, y'all need to get them people in order. And that and I was in church at a listening to Bill Winston at a men's conference.
Mhm.
And sitting behind my old pastor, because I hadn't been in that church in 20 years. And I showed him, I said, look at this. It say clear the clothes. He said, your faith brought you through, and you were supposed to be here for that to happen. You were supposed to get out of the way. You did everything you were supposed to do. And you cast your cares on God. You even put on the group text, God is good and he gonna bring us through this, to the bankers, to everybody. You did what you were supposed to do.
Okay.
You exposed the evil that people can do to mess people's livelihood up.
Right.
And it happens every day. But, I would just say to people, don't stop. Don't give up.
Yep.
Don't stop. Don't give up. This business gets better the more you learn. And the only way you can learn is go through some kind of trial and tribulation.
You got to go through to get
no perfect deal. Ain't no perfect deal, whether it's finances, whether it's a broken sewer main after you ready to sell a house and mud come bubbling up out the floor. There is no perfect deal.
Right.
And so,
man, this is great. You have some really, really good advice, some great, and I think one of the things me and Dion really like is to be able to bring on guests that just talk about real estate and the things that they've dealt with and the experiences and everything. Obviously I am a lender, and I'm completely against everything that they put you through. That's not how
I can't look, Dion, to tell you, I can't even articulate to you. I gave you a couple of bullet points.
We did go.
That's what it sounds like. This is the tip of the iceberg.
They was out of their minds. I mean, literally.
You just didn't understand where it was coming from, but every turn there was a turn, and you're like,
wow,
where is this coming from?
Where's this coming from?
Right,
well,
but
thank God, not everybody is like that.
Right. I think one of the good things about it is that Archie did continue to push forward, and what he's saying is to people that are trying to get into this business of investment, it's not easy. It's the TV show make it seem like in 30 minutes you got a new home.
Right.
And I made 100,000 off of that deal. Right? Mm-hmm. No, sometimes people don't make money off of their deals. Sometimes people make less money than what they anticipated, but they continue to learn from their different experiences and able to push forward. I mean, I think that was me in the very beginning of me with real estate. Archie and I were in business and with investing and as an agent and a home inspector. And I'm like, hey, Arch, I got this building that's sitting over here. The contractors ain't coming no more. And I don't know what to do. I'm about to sell this building. You want to buy it?
I remember that. Yeah. But Dion has been very instrumental in me evolving, because I am not even in control of what's going on with my career right now. I'm evolving into I'm going to call it a coach / project manager / GC type of person. Okay. And I like to help people, and I do it from the heart, you know? And so I'm getting so many calls to just help bridge that gap and help people not go through some of the things that we went through initially, and give good advice, and they don't mind paying for it. And I tell them, what investor is going to put a house on the market or a building on the market without having a home inspector go through that? Why would you wait for the buyer's inspector to come and make you look like ineffective investor? Right. You know what I mean? Right. That's your reputation. And people don't think like that. They want to follow this little protocol thing. Like I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna put it on the market. Ain't nobody even went through the house. So now you got a good looking space. But when I come in on behalf of the buyer,
Yeah.
Right.
That's when
Yep.
you look crazy. And why
Right.
would you put yourself through all of this illegal negotiations and people wanting money off and
Yeah.
credits? And you don't need to do that. You really don't. But people continue to do the same thing and get the same result. So
Yeah.
now people are listening to me saying, look, man, for those little $100, couple of $100, I'm gonna charge you to go through this place and do an inspection on your behalf. It's gonna save you a year's worth of headaches.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And
And that's invaluable.
right. As a listing agent, I'll have appraisers come through too and look at the property on the eye of an appraiser and say,
Yeah.
okay, you got some chip paint, you got the, the sidings are, this or that, and allows them to kind of prepare beforehand with, like Archie's saying, even if it doesn't have to be investment property, it could be your own home that you're selling, have somebody come out and look at it. And I kind of go back and forth a little bit on this. An investor for sure.
Yeah.
If you know something as a seller prior to you selling a home, that could also mean that you have to disclose it as well if you don't plan on making those changes. So it's a couple of different things, but definitely as an investor for sure,
Yeah,
selling your property.
yeah.
Mm.
And you can't be what do they call it? This is a word when you a landlord and you don't show up ever. But I'm gonna use that for flipping or anything. You can't be a missing in action investor or person that is over a project, and that's what happened to my place sister. Is not that she was missing in action; it was that she didn't have anybody on the ground to
Hmm.
make sure they're on target.
Yep.
So then you have people tell you we are almost finished. So how
Yeah.
did I get involved? We bumped into each other. It was God's timing. And she said, well, you know what? I want you to do the inspection because they said they about ready to close this thing up and be finished.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, Lord, help me, Jesus. These people need 30 more days. They done told her that they're almost about to be finished.
Uh-huh.
And see, that's a gap. That's a disconnect. So with my project, I'm going to at least go at least 4 days a week and see where everybody's at and ask them what I can do to help. And not only that, they'll keep working and do things that are not going to make your property sell because you weren't there to say, nope, we ain't going to go that ain't going to be what I wanted it to
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
Mm.
Let's switch the gears on that. Let's slam on the brakes. And
Yeah.
so they'll keep going, right? Doing what they're getting paid to do. And then you look up and it's not what you want it to be. Me and Dione, we've looked at houses in that area that, you know, didn't have a little bitty kitchen that they could have just left islands. You ain't even got no kitchen. Why would you put islands in there? You know, stairs.
Small bedrooms.
Oh, just who cares that
Right.
you got 5 bedrooms if only thing I could put in there is a twin bed and one dresser, you know?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
don't sell a house. And so,
Yeah.
you know, I enjoy working with Dione because I told her it's something about her that puts me on another planet. Because when I bought this house, I ain't gonna lie to you. I didn't even inspect it. I walked in with Dione, my wife walked in, and the next thing you know, I asked them what y'all think. Now I did not inspect this house. They said, we like it. You should get it. And it was over. I walked out the house. And I didn't even realize, recently that what this house is. I've had 3 very valuable people, investors, and family members walk in this house, and they said, man, you got it. You don't even know what you got, I don't think. Because I'm steady trying to quote them what I'm gonna sell it for. They say, you way off. You way
Oh,
off.
really?
And I said, why? How? How am I way off? Well, my good friend, who's a big investor in Chicago, he said these words. He said, let's look at these bedrooms, Arch. You got 3 walk-in closets.
Mm.
I didn't realize it because I didn't count them. I was just reconfiguring the house. He said, in every bedroom you have, you can put a super king bed in with a whole bedroom.
Not a super
He
king.
said a
Yeah.
super king, and he said, and they'll still be able to walk once they put their dressers in there.
Yes.
He says,
Yeah.
And so for these people out here selling these houses with 4 baths and 5 bedrooms, ain't got no basement room in the house, Dion, we in, where the basement go?
With the base, nothing.
Where's it
Yeah,
at? He said,
right.
man, you got a huge basement, open concept, open. He said, this is a house that's going to sell in one day. That's what he told
Yeah.
me.
Wow.
So
Wow.
that's one. Archie touched on two things, right? He said, go look at the houses, the competitors, right? We already under contract. We're ready, making plans for the new house, but we still made some appointments to the competitors' houses, people who
Yeah.
houses were finished, and
Mm-hmm.
looked at them to see what was selling or what wasn't selling, because some of them were
Yeah.
sitting there for a minute, right? So we said, okay. And then we in there. I'm like, I should probably call them and let them know why their house not selling.
Yeah.
but but we did. We went in. We looked at it. And we're like, oh, okay, very pretty. Some very pretty. But you have a deck with the. They had a. They had a
Cabinets on the enclosed porch
on
with
the closed
drawers
porch.
and doors that you couldn't even open.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Just like who decided to do this? And you
Right.
spent good money on these cabinets, but that you can't. They
you
don't
couldn't even
function.
open it.
They don't
You
even
couldn't
open.
open the cabinets. Like, what was the purpose of putting them there and you couldn't even
Yeah.
open them? You walked into the house and, to your right, you were going down the stairs to the basement, and to the left, you walked in smack to the living room, and
Mm-hmm.
there was no space in that living room. Like, that was supposed to be a living room, and it wasn't spacious. So, a lot of different things that we
Yeah,
saw.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
space,
space,
logistics,
space.
setup of how, is it functional? Does it
Yes,
Is it
make
yes.
sense?
Is it functional?
Yes.
I fought for almost a month to do my stairs right, and it was probably a fight because of what me and Dion saw. One house with the stairs that went straight up the middle of the dining room, and I get it because I had to do something similar, but by no means is mine's as terrible as theirs was
Yeah.
because I had an opportunity to see it up finished. And so I had an opportunity to say, look, we need to move some stuff back. We got a huge kitchen. We're gonna make this work. And we're
Mhm.
gonna have enough space where, nowadays people really don't have formal dining rooms, but you still want to give them an opportunity to at least have a four top in there where 4 people can put a table and
Yeah.
and feel comfortable and those type of things, right? Um, but you get all of these opinions from people who do houses, and I listen to them. But one guy tried to convince me to just make that an extension of the kitchen. Man, my kitchen is huge,
The kitchen
and that
was
don't even
huge
sound right. What are
already.
you talking about? But imagine somebody that listens to that mess, right?
Right. So
And
as we're talking about listening to advice, what would be some advice that you would give like to somebody who's investing for the first time, just starting in real estate investment? What would be advice that you would give somebody like that?
ooh, well, you want to listen. You want to get opinions, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in the end, if you don't have the experience, your end result should be to confer with people who got the experience to ask to say, I got 5 different opinions on what I should do with this, but I'm counting on you to tell me which one of these actually makes sense. And
Yeah.
then have them like me, walk me through all these opinions. Because
So
I
that
have to
sounds
do,
like
I
mentorship.
have to do that. I have to do that with myself.
Yeah.
And you know, but here's the most powerful part about it is you cannot leave out the trades when you're doing that. It's nice for a GC or an investor or a builder to tell you something, but in
Yeah.
the end, you're gonna miss what you really need to do if you leave the electrician, the plumber, the HVAC guy out, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I just had to redo. We hadn't done it, but I went to the plumber last. I said, "Now, what do you think?"
Yeah.
He said,
So get some mentorship. What else
"Yeah,
we need to do? What's another advice?
um, yeah." So making decisions is for me always one of those things that I just include God in it. In the end, I just be like,
Yes.
well, I'm gonna do what I think is right, but what do you say? And he'll give me somebody that'll come in out of the blue and I might have to change some stuff and be like, "Ooh, I didn't even see that," because
Right.
it happens. You know what I'm saying? You can't sometimes see everything.
See everything. Right.
You have your
Mhm.
own idea what you want to do, but
Yeah.
you again, you just need to expose what you're doing to people. And some people so afraid to do that, like, oh, I don't want them to copy what I'm doing, or I don't have those hangups.
Yeah. I
You
That's
have
know,
one of my old pastors, his name is Bishop Al Reese, and one of the things he used to say, he actually preached a sermon on this. He said, I want God to put people around me that can not just see what I see, but they can see what I missed.
there you go. That's it.
mm.
That's the key.
Let's do this rapid fire real
Okay.
quick.
Okay.
Right.
Sounds good.
So we're gonna give you a quick rapid fire round. Just answer with your first thought.
Okay.
Okay. All
Okay.
right. Single family home or multi-unit?
Single family home.
All right. Cash flow or appreciation?
Cash flow.
Manage yourself or hire management?
Depending on the project.
Okay.
Biggest investor myth.
Say that one more time.
Biggest investor myth.
Biggest investor myth. You're gonna
Yeah.
make money on everything you do.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. One thing every new investor should budget for.
The unforeseen.
All right.
Yeah. One thing you would never skip again.
Hmm. An inspection on my own investments.
Even if Dion and your wife is there,
Yeah.
it's okay.
I'm gonna come back to that because what we found after he did inspect it, Archie, we're gonna come back to that.
Okay.
Would you buy another property in today's market?
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
What is one neighborhood factor you always check?
School systems.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what's one word that describes your investor journey?
Get it done.
Yeah. But I would say
Okay.
blessed.
Blessed. Yeah, definitely blessed.
Yeah,
Okay.
blessed, right. So Archie, after you inspected our house that we got coming soon, it's
Uh-huh.
coming soon,
Yeah,
guys.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right. What did we find out about the furnace? Remember that?
Oh, yeah. Well, we found the furnace because when I walked the first
Found
time,
it.
we didn't see no furnace. And
What?
I'm like, okay, got a boiler, but I'm like, why did they
It
cut
had a
these?
boiler. It didn't have. We was like it don't have a
It had
furnace.
no furnace. And then I went
What?
back and did another walkthrough. Dion was there. Dion, look at this behind this door. It's a furnace. What? And so my HVAC guy explained it like this. He said, Archie, they didn't have the money to do it right, but what they were trying to do is when the cold weather hit sometime in Chicago now, it hit just abruptly, right? And so they fire this forced air unit up just long enough for the boiler to catch up to the house, and then they shut that down and let the boiler take over. And because I was like, why they got both? But
Right.
I've converted into all new forced air, central air, everything gonna be beautiful, so that the people who buy it, they're blessed. They got good airflow, good circulation, good heat, and they modern. I'm modernized it, so I got all those old radiators out of there. Yeah.
Well, Archie, we thank you. It's always great for you to come and visit us. I'm sure
Archie
we'll
gonna
have
have to
you.
come back.
Right.
Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah,
I'm
we
sure we have you come back again. So,
Yeah.
but couple of things. If you're interested in home inspection, he does Illinois and Indiana. So he's a home inspector. He can help you there. Archie, what else you want to tell them you could do? So you sell
I
yourself better than me.
Well, you know what? I would say we talked a little bit about this because my journey is forming itself just based on where God has taken me, right? And I like to pass knowledge on to people that's new or not new that just want a second opinion. So I'm very open to doing some counseling, some consulting, some on-site evaluations. Everything is not in the box when you say home inspector.
Yeah.
I like to provide whatever service you need at the time you need it, right? And because I have a background as a building commissioner, if you're buying something that's been closed down for a long time, it has not, it's been vacant. You really definitely want to dig deep on that one and get me involved, because I'll probably get other people involved to check things like sewer lines and things of that nature before you make that big investment
Yeah.
and chew off more than you know is going to happen. Because the older the house is or longer it's been sitting vacant, the more work you need to look forward to. And that was that unforeseen when you did that rapid fire. Those
Mhm.
are unforeseens, because you buy a house that's 5 years vacant, it's going to be some problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it ain't going to be your average day-to-day problems, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So one piece of advice is try to stick with something that only been vacant for a year, right? If you can find something that's worthy for you to invest in, and you're a beginner, don't buy nothing that's 5 years vacant because the price is good, because somebody auctioning it off and it been sitting there with trees growing through the foundation. Don't do that to yourself.
All right. All
Don't do
right.
it. Don't do it. Say no. Find me something that's newer.
Okay.
All right. All right. Uh,
He said, "Say
Lisa,
no."
here's Lisa's number if you need. We tell you every time you start with the lender first, get
What I mean.
pre-approved. Got to know where your money's coming from. So she can help us with new construction, single family homes. She can help you with
Whatever you
investment
need.
property. Right.
Yep. Yep.
All that's there for you.
Fix
And
and flip, buying home.
exactly.
That's good stuff.
And then for me, if you're interested in doing investment, there's a lot of you can start off with just buying a multi-unit single family
Yeah.
home. Just something beginner investors could just buy something that's already together. Or if you want to get something that you make better, we're
Yes,
here for you. So,
absolutely.
all right,
All
all
right,
right.
we did it. Another
Thank
Watercolor
you.
Wednesday. Whoop,
Yes, yes. Thank you. Bye bye.
whoop. Have a good night, everybody.